I'd like to present to you now Kathy Sheffield. Kathy, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Yvonne, for that very kind introduction. And thank you all who are out there. I'm very honored and excited to be your guide today. So all you're going to need is a chair, and preferably your chair has no arms, but don't worry if it does, like Yvonne's, you're going to be just fine. You just may not have the freedom of the arm movement, but it's going to work just fine. The other thing you may want to have is some water, because believe it or not, even though we're going to be seated with this breath work we're going to be doing, we're going to create a lot of heat in our bodies. So maybe a little bit of water. The first thing we're going to do, you may want to slip your shoes off. I'm going to show you a really cool little exercise that's going to really show you how our bodies are so interconnected with itself. We're then going to practice a little bit of breathing. We'll get into our yoga, our practice today, which will include some postures and a little flow. And then I'm definitely going to save time for just a couple minutes of a mindful meditation that we'll do at the end, and then I'll turn it back over to Yvonne. Now, ideally, this would be live, and I would be able to see each and every one of you to maybe help with my cueing and any modifications. So please speak up if you have a question or need a modification. I'm going to try to show them, but just please let me know. So at this point, I am going to make my way to my chair, and we're going to get started. So keep in mind too, I'm on a little mini iPad, so I really can't even see those of you that have popped up too great. So again, just please feel free to speak up if you need some help. So we're going to talk more about posture in a minute, but for now, I just want you to feel grounded. You might come up kind of to the end of your chair and let the shoulders fall down and back. And then all I want you to do is turn your head and look to the left. Just notice how far you go. And then come back to center. And then we're going to go ahead and look to the right. And then come back to center. All right, take a look at your feet. Pick them up, come up onto your heels and spread your toes wide, wiggle them. And then you're going to put your feet down flat. If you feel the four corners of the foot down, go ahead and slide your feet out along the rug or floor, wherever you are, and then pull them up. And then I want you to squinch your toes like you're making a fist out of your toes. Squinch, squinch, squinch. And then open it up again. Put your feet down, drag them back, ankles under knees, and then pull your toes up and spread them wide. Put your feet down. We're going to do that again 3 more times. So you're going to drag your feet out and then pull them up. Squinch your toes together. Open them up, put them down, drag it back, lift your toes, put them down. 2 more times. So push it out, spread the toes wide, squinch, put them down, drag it back, lift. We're going to do it just 1 more time. So drag it, spread them wide, squinch them, spread them wide, put them down, drag them back, pick them up. All right, now here's some magic. Turn your head to the left. And then turn it as far as you can, and then come back to center. And now try the other side. Come back to center. So who feels like they got maybe half of a head turn bigger? Anybody? Maybe you're all on mute.
I did.
Did you get more head turn?
I did, yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, great. So let's go ahead and shake out our shoulders here, and we're going to start with that with breathing. It's a 3-part breath. So if you've never practiced this, Take a hand to your heart and take a hand to your belly. When you inhale, I want you to notice where your breath goes. A lot of times we breathe into our chest. We take a shallow chest breath, which actually compresses our lungs. So we're not able to get in a full breath of oxygen. So instead, try to breathe into your belly. Imagine you're blowing up a balloon. Try to fill your belly up. Take some practice because we're taught to hold it in all the time. So breathe into your belly. Feel the back and the ribs expanding with that breath. And then when you exhale, try to send the breath up, filling the lungs completely. So try it again. So inhale into the belly first, 3-part breath. We go belly, back and ribs, allowing the lungs to fill completely, bottom to top. So feel free to keep your hands here or maybe come into thumb to forefinger. Roll the shoulders down the spine. You want to have your chest lifted. Feel grounded in the sit bones. And when we're seated, let me turn sideways. When we're seated, whether we're on the floor, on a chair, we want to have sit bones, hips, and ribs going up like steps. That way we're not hunched over. We have a tall posture. The chest is lifted. We're long through the neck. The shoulder blades fall down the spine, and all that engages your core, that strong posture, the front, back, and side core. So close your eyes and let's take a few of those 3-part breaths. Breathe in and out through your nose. Let your inhale and your exhale be equal in length. So by turning our attention to our breath, we can help ourselves to be in the present moment, to remain centered. So counting the breath, watching it. This breath is going to build heat in our bodies, and it's going to help us to go deeper into the postures. And we'll do some examples of that coming up. So it's an expanding breath, opening, and then on the exhale, we collapse. So go ahead now and let your eyes float open. And now we're going to just gently start to tilt the chin up so that you feel the throat open here. And then leading with the chin, start to tuck it. So this little neck series we're getting ready to do is really good if you hold tension in your neck and shoulders. If you're seated at a desk for any length of time, go ahead and lift it back up again. So opening the throat. And here's something interesting too. When our chin is tucked like this, when we're compressing the thyroid gland, this is believed to spark metabolism, to increase metabolism. And then when we open it up, it's the parathyroid, which ensures the benefits of that compression stretch. Go ahead now and just bring your head to center. So now let's do, this is mountain pose. This is a seated mountain pose. Feel like you're being pulled from the sky to the earth. It's an active posture. You can spread your fingers wide, starfish fingers. Again, the chest is lifted, the shoulders are drawn down. We're firmly planted in the earth. Let's take an inhale breath and start to reach the arms up. So again, if you're in a chair, you can just kind of help yourself to get around the arms. And then if available, this is extended mountain pose. I don't know if you can see my fingers, but I've clasped my hands together behind me. But if that's not available, we all have different shoulder mobility ranges. We're all in different bodies. So if that's not available, stay here. Otherwise, hands come to the heart right here. So let's do that again. So a big inhale breath. So we're inhaling to open our bodies, expanding. And then an audible exhale. Feel like your spine is being pulled up to the ceiling. Imagine your vertebra, a string of pearls. Breathe into each vertebra. When you exhale, getting even taller. Let's do that one more time. So a big inhale breath. Notice you're picking the ribs up rather than the shoulders. And on an exhale, hands come to the heart. So let's go ahead and come back into this mountain pose. We're going to do a lateral fold now. So we're going to, from this tall position, we're going to just bend to the left. So think about your bottom side rib to your hip in this lateral fold. So you should start to feel a stretch through that side body. And then this is a little seated Pilates. You're going to engage that muscle to pull you back up. Reset your posture and let's go down to the other side. And then we'll lift up. Now, if it's available, we're going to lift the arm up. Feel free to do what we did just a moment ago by keeping the arms low. So now, with that arm lifted on an inhale, think about lifting the rib up from the hip and then use that expanding breath to breathe into that right side. And then when you exhale, really feel yourself deep in that posture. So bicep over ear. And then look how this changes the posture. It's a great stretch for your neck. Look up at your fingers. And then with core control, you're going to send that arm back down. Let's take a shoulder roll, set the posture. And now let's do the left. So inhale up. And again, we don't want to wear our shoulder as an earring here. We want to stay long through the neck, but get some length here. We want to lengthen the muscle for more contraction. And then we're going to just go into that side bend. Bicep over the ear. Use that breath. Breathe into the left side, facing up. And then on the exhale, feel how you can sink deeper into that posture. And now let the eyes gaze up. And then on an exhale, we're going to close it. Roll your shoulders. And then just go ahead and roll them the other way. Now we're going to bring our hands to our knees. And we're going to do some spinal flexion and spinal extension. So first, I'm going to turn sideways again for you. We're going to extend the spine. It's like a little baby back bend here. So looking up. So you're rounding your spine here, looking up. And now here, we're rounding it. Here's the flexion. So this is a seated cat and cow. So inhale, feel the chest, the heart lead forward, shoulders down from the ears. And then pull the navel in as you round, like you're trying to flatten your back against the chair or pull the belly button into the chair. And let's do it again. So with the breath, inhale, open. And exhale, close. So even though we're seated with this 3-part breath, don't be surprised if you start to even break a little sweat here. Good, just one more time, tuck and round. And then from a neutral spine, come back to our set position, our seated mountain pose, Tadasana. So let's take a centering breath and then inhale the arms up. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears, but then pick up the ribs, pick up both ribs. So think about making space here. It's all about getting more space in our bodies. And on an exhale now, we're going to twist and let the arms go. So maybe that left hand is on your chair behind you. You can use your body as leverage here. But on this twist, try to sit tall, chest proud, your shoulders are square. And we're gazing over that left shoulder. So take that inhale breath. And then exhale and deepen your twist. There's that expanding breath working for us. Now, carefully reach that left arm through. You're going to hold onto your knees. So this little series we're going to do now, we're going to work a little lower down the chest and work into the front of the shoulders and the back. Again, if you carry stress in your neck and shoulders, you're going to love this. So we're holding on to our knees. Go into that cat pose. So keep holding on and reaching back, and then start to, and I'm going to show you a modification in just a minute. Start to bring your right elbow inside your left one. We're making eagle arms. Now we're going to all look different here. We're all in different bodies. So you might just be here, or maybe you're here, and then help yourself to come up. Now, here's your modification. You can do just this. You can just hold your elbows. You can come here, or you can help yourself come into these eagle arms. So it's compression in these limbs here. So take that inhale breath. Now we're compressing the front of the body. So that big expanding breath is going into your back, whether you're here or here. So feel that expanding breath. And when you exhale, start to lift the arms up, 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 up. And then we're just going to float them down to a T, to shoulder level. Now, go ahead, roll your shoulders down away from your ears, but then reach the arms out. Try to hug the muscles into the bone here. We're going to take the right hand, maybe it just goes and touches your waist, or maybe you take it behind you and you try to find the crease in the opposite waist. We're all going to be different. Remember, no judgment, no competition. So wherever that arm is, but then this left hand is going to go somewhere. It's going to go either to the fingers, to the wrist, or maybe you can find your elbows. So this, you're probably feeling that here in the front of the shoulders and in the neck. Again, when we are at a computer, we're sitting, we're driving, we are constantly tightening up the front of our body. We're shrinking it. So yoga really addresses a lot of that cat-cow we did. There's so many things we can do. But here we're just trying to get some of this stress and tension out. So feel that 3-part breath now in the front, the shoulders, all that fascia, the tendons, ligaments even, muscle. And one more thing, if you want more, you can take your ear to your opposite shoulder. And that's going to give you a good stretch on that right side. But when we do this, instead of bending the neck, think about lengthening as the ear goes down. So creating more space. And then very carefully come to center. And let's take a Big inhale breath. And then hands come to the heart. And then this time we're going to inhale up. And then let those shoulders fall again away from the ears, but pick up the ribs. On an exhale, like you're twisting a top off of a water bottle. Twist, 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 and then release. So twisting, let's stay with your 3-part breath here, and I want to talk to you about twisting a little bit. Twisting is great for relieving stress and tension in the body, and it's cleansing. You can see with what we're doing, and then with the breath, we are literally squeezing out toxins. We're compressing the internal organs with the breath and the posture. And literally, we're getting them to release toxins. Just remember to drink plenty of water after you do any twisting. So one more breath. And now we're going to slide the right arm through. Help yourself to roll back into that cat spine. And then on an exhale, start to wiggle the left elbow inside the right. Now, don't be surprised if you're like, whoa, I'm like way feeling different on this side. That's normal. We all have imbalances. Remember your modification, you can be here, coming up. So when we are aware of our imbalances, then we can work towards restoring balance and harmony in our bodies. So as you exhale, maybe let those arms come up a little more. And then inhale, reach up, exhale, push down, roll the shoulders, reach, reach, reach the arms. And now left arm makes its way somewhere behind you. And if this is where you are today, then that's exactly where you're supposed to be today. We are in the perfect present moment. So now we're going to find somewhere that works for us. Let the arms behind you be heavy. Big breaths into the shoulders. And breathe to what you're feeling. Let's go ahead and take that ear down, but also think length on that left side. So with your mind's eye, gaze at where you feel these postures and use your breath to try to melt away tightness and tension. Carefully come back and then inhale up. Hands come to the heart. So we're going to now do just a little bit of core work, and then it's almost time for me to turn things back over to Yvonne. So we're going to do just a little bit more work and stretch. So I want to show you how you can do some core work as you're seated. And it's also going to work our thighs, this first little part. So from a strong posture, we're going to start like this, and I'm going to give you some other options. First, just lift your right leg up. So right there, you're using your abdominals. Go ahead and push it out. Now your heel, try to push your heel to mid. Feel how that's going to work your thighs. That could be a whole nother class doing this type of thing, but I just want to show you a few things. So other leg comes up, and then we're going to extend just to give that leg stretch, and then come back. Now, just march, but sit tall. And then look what I'm going to do. From this tall posture, when my right leg lifts, I'm going to twist to it. All right? Put it down. Other side. So lift, twist. This is great core work. Up and twist. in and up and twist. All right, take a little break. So you can stay with that option. Or if you have the mobility, I know Yvonne's working through a shoulder injury, which I still haven't heard the whole story, Yvonne. All right, I'll have to hear that. Take your arms behind you. Now, this is gonna really help to strengthen the muscles around the neck too. So you can take your elbows in and out and you'll feel the back of your shoulders, the rear delts and the rhomboids and the traps working. So now if you're here, try the twist and then come down. So you're working your back, but remember, modification, you're here. Either way, you are working and getting the benefit. So remember, it's an exhale to close and an inhale to open. And an exhale and an inhale. Let's just do once more each way. And go ahead and release your arms and roll the shoulders. Take a centering breath here. And now we're going to take our hands to our hips. Imagine that you're a piece of paper and we're just going to fold ourselves in half, okay? So from this really long spine, chest is going to lead. Think about attaching your belly button to your thigh. So start to tip, 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 tip. So belly button to thigh and then your ribs. And when you can't go anymore, just stop. And then, real important, we don't want to look up or down. We want to protect our neck. So our eyes are gazing just a few feet in front. Go ahead and lower one arm at a time. This is our seated forward fold. Notice where you are. Now take an expanding breath into your back, especially try to breathe into your lower back. So here with us being folded over the front of our body, that expanding breath is going to really go into the back, which is where we want it. Creating space. Exhale and lengthen a little bit. And then very carefully, we're going to come out the way we got in. So support and lift up. Inhale up. Hands come into the heart. So we're going to do that a little different way, but please know if you prefer this way, if you feel anything in your lower back and need to come here, this is where you're going to come. Otherwise, we're going to come up. Now we're going to try to keep our biceps by our ears. The arms are active. So fire up the muscles in the back. And now start to fold. Remember, long spine, no rounding, neutral. We're a piece of paper. So start to attach your navel. Reach, reach, reach. And then when you feel like you are good, you don't want to go anymore, help yourself to then fold and let the arms go. And you may notice that your head is a little bit further this time. And that means you're lengthening your spine. We're decompressing. Breathe into it. That's going to help. So this 3-part breath, it creates space in our bodies. And we cannot have enough space in our body. Having space in our body allows us to move much more gracefully through life with much less stress, much less tension in our body. Go ahead and help yourself to come up. Roll, roll, roll. Inhale up. Hands come into the heart. We're going to do it one more time, and I'm going to add a twist to it. Inhale up. Dive. Reach, length, length. Try to reach your fingers to me. Feel all that length in the spine, and then come down. take a breath. Now, we're going to have modifications here. The first is you can bring your right arm up. See, I've just put my forearm on my knee. And then we're going to push down to open up, to pull that shoulder back. All right? Or try it here. Okay, so you choose. So you're pushing down, and then we're going to reach up. So now feel that 3-part breath. Inhale, exhale. And this actually, when you went to register, this was a half of a picture of this in standing form. So inhale and reach it up. Use that breath to twist you further. Now, always leaving postures with core control. More people get hurt leaving postures than getting in them. So help yourself now to carefully come out and come up. Roll your shoulders, take a breath. Inhale up. This will be our last posture today. I want to save at least a minute to get you started if Yvonne says we have time, a little meditation. All right, go ahead and release. And so now, maybe you're here, or maybe you're here. Use your body, use the floor, use whatever you can as leverage to help you to go deeper. So if you're here, you can push down to reach up. On the floor, you can push down to reach up. And then the breath. Feel how it goes above and below that twist. And when you exhale, like you're wringing out water from a wet towel, see how you can deepen that twist. And then on an exhale, carefully, carefully, carefully. We're going to roll up this time. So pull the navel in, roll all the way up. Take an inhale breath. And hands are going to come in to the heart. So if we've got 2 more minutes, we'll just
do.
Yay, okay. Do we have 3 or 2? Time is of the essence. I'll just do 2.
Go for it. No, we are at 1:08. You can take 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll open up for questions. Either one.
Okay, so go ahead and just find a comfortable position. You may want to come back now. Feel supported. So this is a seated version of Shavasana, and it would normally, we could be here for at least 5 minutes, 7, 10. So it's corpse pose, which is actually rebirth. It's samsara. So it signifies rebirth. So this is our rebirth today. So whatever you feel comfortable with your hands, but I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to feel safe and supported in the chair. Bring the attention back to your breath. Only this time, let your exhale last longer than your inhale. Remember, in and out through the nose. Now, imagine a clear blue sky. Whenever a thought pops up, imagine a cloud has drifted onto your sky. And just sit that thought on the cloud and let it drift away. We don't want to force it away. Just let it drift off of your sky. Go back to that image of a clear blue sky and to watching the breath. Thought pops up, just sit it on a cloud and let it drift away. Just start to wiggle your toes and your fingers now and let your eyes float open. Let's take another breath in, an inhale breath. Bring your hands into your heart. And at the close of a yoga practice, we take a moment to greet the light that shines within each one of us by bowing and saying namaste.